Hello! In this video we are going to learn to identify the harness parts and how to measure your horse for a harness. The first part of the harness that we are going to put on Jessie, who is our little miniature horse model for today, is going to be the saddle. So the first part that goes over his back is the saddle. Hanging off of the saddle there are short pieces of leather that are called the tugs that connect to the shaft loop. The girth is connected to the saddle, and on this particular harness attached to the girth are what is called wrap straps. Those are used to help hold the shafts down. On this particular harness you can see the back strap is very long. It's adjustable, there's holes all through it. Like I said, this one is a little too long. I just kind of loop the leather up on top. The hip strap is run through the back band. The hip strap connects to the breeching. They're actually all separate pieces, so you can pull everything apart. The breeching is your braking system. It is the part that goes around behind the back of the horse under his tail. The breeching gets held to the cart by what's called a holdback strap. The holdback strap is an entirely separate piece. It just goes through the D on the breeching and it gets run through the keeper. And then the breeching just connects back to your hip straps. Breeching goes under the tail. You want to always make sure with leather harnesses that you don't get cracking and that leather harnesses don't break. The crupper attaches to the end of the back strap. It's its own separate piece. It comes completely off with a buckle. Although there are some harnesses that do have the crupper sewn directly in. But you want your crupper to be adjustable. You don't want it hanging down where it's very loose. And you don't want it hold so tight that it actually digs into the back of the tail. The crupper just buckles right in. The girth connects on the left side of the horse, just like any saddle. And the next piece that goes on is the breast collar. On this particular harness, the breast collar and traces are one piece. They're sewn in traces. But many harnesses have buckle-in traces, so the traces can be replaced. The traces are the long straps that connect to your cart. The last part of the harness that goes on is the bridle with the driving lines. I do like to keep my lines attached to the bridle, which you can see here. Some people keep them separate, and all you do with the lines is run them through the terrets. In this particular harness, it does not have terrets on the neck strap, so I just run the lines through the terrets on the saddle, and I kind of hang them on that overcheck hook there. And the bridle goes on just like any other bridle. This particular bridle did not have a noseband, so I purchased a separate noseband. I do like using a noseband on all my bridles. And the bridle should fit snugly. Just like any other riding bridle, you don't want it to be too loose. Some people will use what's called a gullet strap, primarily in pair driving, but you can use it on a single too. In this case, my little gullet strap here is just a dog collar from the dollar store. It does not need to be fancy. It simply runs through the noseband and through the throat latch. And that way, if the bridle were to get caught on a tree or another horse in a pair, it can't get pulled forward because it has that strap under the chin. Now, I did mention earlier that I loop my lines over the overcheck hook. The overcheck is a piece that you will probably get on your harness when you order one. It connects to the bit, it runs over the pole, and it has a long strap that connects down to that overcheck. It's usually buckled on, but some of them are one piece. Here's what you do when you get a bridle that has an overcheck on it. You unbuckle, or if it's a sewn piece, just cut it apart and take it off. I personally do not recommend overchecks for any reason, and most people do not need them on their harnesses. So now that we've seen how the harness goes on and how all the pieces fit together, you might be wondering how to measure for it. Well, we'll take a look at that right now. And you will see Jesse here put to his cart in the other video. So definitely look for my other video, which is harnessing and hitching the driving horse. When you measure your horse for the fit of the harness, it's also a good time to measure for the fit of its cart. The shafts of the cart should come up to the point of the shoulder. So take your measuring tape, and while the horse is standing square, measure from the ground to the point of the shoulder. That will tell you how high your cart needs to be when it's level. The easiest way to measure the length of the shafts is to measure your horse as though you're fitting him for a blanket. So in order to do that, all you do is measure from the center of the chest to the center under the tail. If you have a big horse, you could probably need 2 people to do that. The saddle and girth are actually measured as one whole unit. You're going to measure completely around the horse's heart girth, one whole measurement. To measure for a breast collar, all you're going to do is measure from the center of the shoulder on one side all the way around to the center of the shoulder on the other side. And it's the same with the breeching. You'll measure from stifle to stifle. Again, if you have a big horse, you might need 2 people to do that. The other measurement you might need to take will be the horse's head for the proper bridle fit. And all you do for that is measure from the corner of the mouth over the crown to the other corner of the mouth. Thank you for watching. I hope you found the video helpful and educational. And if you have any questions, you can always contact me.